My name's Tiffany DeBoof.
And I'm Sean DeBoof.
We have 3 boys, and our youngest, who is 6 now, has PANDAS. And in the fall of 2017, our happy-go-lucky little 4-year-old suddenly woke up a completely different kid. He started chewing on his clothes. He started talking like a baby. He started wetting his bed, kind of at that age where they're learning anyways. He quit sleeping through the night, extreme separation anxiety.
Became violent.
Yeah, lots of rage, lots of anger, and we were just left wondering what happened. And that summer was awful. He just continued to decline. He wanted to die. He would tell us all the time he hated us, hated his brothers. He didn't want to live anymore. He
wanted us to die.
He would scream that at us too. We had to hide sharp objects because in a moment of rage, everything was a weapon. So to protect, our other sons too, we needed to remove anything he could use in a rage. And we had just wondered what happened to our son, and he was a shell of who he once was. That fall of 2018, we found a specialist in Chicago who saw him and confirmed he had severe PANDAS, and changed the antibiotic, put him on a new one, and recommended IVIG. We, as parents, were very excited for answers, but we didn't know the battle we still had ahead of us.
And that's when a really tough battle took place, and lots of denials, and we'd appeal and deny, and we went all the way to the end until was our last appeal.
I had called the insurance company and just said, is there anything else we can do? So I reached out to basically anyone I could think of to reach out to, organizations, IVIG companies, pharmaceutical companies, just to see if there are any programs.
Just to help cover the costs, since insurance wouldn't cover.
And there were no programs. Everyone said he didn't qualify. So I think any parent at that point in this situation would do what we did, and we paid $10,000 out of pocket. And since then, the story is mostly happy. He came home. When he started first grade this year, he could not read. And within a month of IVIG, he's reading at grade level. He has friends. He's happy. He eats food a lot. There's still some anxiety we're working on, but we can use therapy to help him, whereas before we couldn't even use therapy to help him.
But certainly we've come a long ways in the one treatment we have done.
What's the insurance company response? I mean, how can they deny this?
They said it was deemed medically unnecessary.
Yes. And I think somewhere I saw maybe experimental.
Yes.
It's experimental treatment, so they won't cover it.
And other wording they would use was not enough medical data. But PANDAS was only discovered,
I think, in the 90s.
Yeah, so, that medical data takes time.
And they talk about it, it's a pretty rare disease. I think that makes a difference, but they say 1 in 200, but I know our doctor believes it's probably more like 1 in 100 kids have it.
As insurance would continue to deem this medically unnecessary, and that there wasn't enough data, our son would continue to decline, and that decline didn't need to happen. Like, my husband is a high school math teacher, and I'm a part-time hairstylist, and then wrangle boys when I'm not working. We're wise with our money, we work hard. $10,000 is a lot of money. I don't know very many people that have an extra $10,000 just sitting in the bank. But when your child wants to die, and when your child is suicidal, and when your child is hurting your other children, you will do anything you need to do.
Tiffany spent a lot of time sending emails, looking up different organizations like that, but there wasn't a lot of people to help out someone in our situation. And so we did have some family members that helped contribute. We really battened down the hatches and, would not go out to eat, would, just as frugal as we could be for quite some time.
If insurance would have covered $10,000, $11,000 worth of care, you're able to now enjoy $10,000. Go to Disneyland, like the things you do with a child, right?
Yeah. So we have a furnace that's not working well right now. We've got a pickup where my pickup, its heater doesn't work. We've got lots of little things that we've just kind of put aside and said we can make do without.
So I have a 10-year-old named Annabelle,
And
my name is Meredith Bozen, and my husband JR and I have 2 daughters. Annabelle is a 10-year-old, and Grace turned 9 in December. And last May, Annabelle, we were at a concert, actually, my daughters and I, and Annabelle was adamant something was wrong. And of course, you know, kids always get sick on weekends when the doctors are closed. So I made an appointment that night at a walking clinic, walked her to the door where my husband picked her up, and 45 minutes later I had a text from my husband, she's got strep throat, we're getting the antibiotic and heading home. And I'm thinking, awesome, you know, strep throat, easy peasy. Almost overnight, Annabelle stopped eating. She would tell us food was poison and it was going to make her sick, and she was going to throw up. Always that her tummy hurt. She would wash her hands so much that they started to crack and bleed. I was afraid she was going to get an infection just because she had open wounds on her hands. Separation anxiety, where before she was a kid that goes to sleepaway camp. You know, she does stuff at the playhouse. She was in piano lessons. She, you know, very active in the church. Just loved people, loved doing things. Not sit around, watch TV, and all of a sudden she can't leave my side. She doesn't want, I can't get her to go to any of her activities. She won't even be around her grandparents that she loved. She wanted to be a baker. She had all this baking stuff. She baked all the time. I can't eat that. That's poison. Just all sorts of OCD. Better out. She just kept losing weight. Finally, we were on a field trip, and a parent approached me and asked if everything was okay with Annabelle. She won't eat. She won't leave my side. She wants to die. She just keeps saying she wants to go to heaven. Am I ever going to feel good again? Her tummy hurts. And the mother said, have you heard of PANDAS? And I said, like the bear? She said, well, yeah, same spelling. I went in to her appointment and said, I think Annabelle has PANDAS. Do you know what that is? Because the parent that had told me about PANDAS said, your doctor may not even know what PANDAS is. And he looked at me and he said, yes, I know what it is, and I want you to know that I believe it is a real thing. And I just burst into tears. But she has been a success story. The antibiotics are working. Her personality's back. I mean, she is just so upbeat. Our old Annabelle is back. I consider us one of the really lucky ones on one hand. However, the place we went in Colorado, it was, depending on the week versus the weekend days, it was anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500 a day. So like when I get my explanation of benefits from the insurance company, it's almost $7,000 for 2 days. And we were there for 67 days. And no one can pay for that. We had to pay $6,000 for to hit the deductible. And we don't know what we'll owe for the January 1st to the 22nd, which was what she was, where she was there for that many days this year. But that on top of, you know, she sees a therapist, she sees a dietitian weekly. A psychologist, she was seeing a GI specialist for a while because, you know, you try everything, trying to figure out, we didn't know what it was. I've got pictures of this happy-go-lucky kid and then just this shell. I mean, people didn't recognize her. And so many people that knew her before are like, Annabelle's back. Like her teacher this year, she went back to school last week. I've been having lunch with Annabelle, and I saw her teacher, and she just said, this is not the same kid. Like, I can't even believe it's the same person.